These guys behind me here, these puppet characters are like my family. See, poor guy. When foam's your family, you know you got a problem. But yeah, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna talk about different styles of puppetry. The style that I do is hand and rod puppet mostly, although I have different styles, and we'll be talking about some of the different styles and stuff today. Shoot, how y'all doing? See, this is Amos, and this is hand and rod, but because he's got the feet and stuff like that, he can do all kinds of stuff and come out and do things with the kids or stand right in front. Yeah, look at my teeth. Look. So being a hand and rod puppet, of course, you move the hands like this. You can do different things like that with them. Sometimes you can do with both hands or just one. What in the world am I looking at? What's your name?
Ronnie.
Hi, Ronnie. Ronnie?
Ronnie.
Hey, I like that. So, something like this, you can get down with the kids, and I've done that before. I used to always be behind the curtain. But over the last, I would say, was it 3 years? I've been coming out the front and doing that right in front with the puppets. Like I've been coming right out like this. So that people say, well, doesn't that take away from it? No. I think it actually teaches them something, and they can see it moving, they see how it operates and all the rest. So I do that with the kids. And I think for the adults too, they get a better idea of really what's going on. And I look handsome no matter if I'm behind or in front. All right, there's different styles of puppetry. There's lots of different styles of puppetry. Has anyone ever heard of bun raccoon? That's an old form. I'm not going to get into the history of all this stuff because it's not a history on puppetry lesson. Although I'm sure that would be very entertaining. I'm not going to do that. But if I was to do bun raccoon, what they used to do is the puppeteer would dress all in black. Black pants, black shirt, black gloves. They'd stick this over their head. That you can't do that anymore and walk into a grocery store. But, you know, they would have that on, and then they would get out and they'd start to move the character. And within 2-3 seconds, you don't even know that person's there. They become a shadow of the puppet that's being operated. It's a real interesting form. You don't see a whole lot of that. And so many, I'm going to show you some different styles today that nobody has really, in this area that I know of, and I'm talking this area, Alberta, is really that I know of capitalized on it and are going places. Like I haven't seen it. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It just means like I haven't seen it. It hasn't been in the mainstream. How many people, first of all, are teaching kids? Every hand should go up because everybody's teaching kids. Oh, that was a trick question. And, okay, so if I'm going to be teaching kids about marionettes, I can tell them marionettes are puppets that come out and they have strings on it, and I can move them around and make them do things. Or, I got a volunteer. Thank you so much. Come on up. Or I can show them something like this and put it like this and have one of the little boys or girls come out to the front and say, I'm going to tell you and show you a little bit about what marionettes are. Marionettes are when I can come out like this. Of course, they're a lot smaller. And I can make them do different things like this. Put one on their leg and make their foot come up, and then talk to them a bit about marionettes. That's all it is. Just little pieces of cardboard cut out on top of a cardboard thing, and you can make it into such incredible things and have so much fun with it. You can also do different colored lights and do that. You can have...
What kind of a light do you have?
a star just drop in.
It's just a lamp.
It was just at home. I was going to bring a flashlight originally. I thought I'm just going to bring a flashlight and just put a have someone hold the flashlight because I mean it's as simple as you want to make it. That's the point. Don't tell me, oh, I can't do anything. Yeah, you can. That's just a plain excuse. Don't give me that. But when you have like young kids, and we're going to get into that a little bit when I talk about manipulation. but long as you can always keep them moving and keep them alive, you know, if you're finished and you go, oh, okay, I'm done. It's like, don't even start.
Oh, they make sounds! Oh, that's cute!
This one does, this one doesn't. Pet store.
What up,
There you go.
me?
There's one. Okay, you put your hand, oh, yeah, in that one. I'll put my hand in this one. Yep, do you want to come up here and put your hand?
Is that gonna be my puppet?
This hand. Now, because they're doing that, they're going to be the hands. So when Albert wants to clap or anything, they have to do it. I'm going to clap for you people. You people are awesome. Yay! Well, but that's what a human hand puppet can do. So let's give them a nice hand. It gives you an opportunity to talk about cooperation and how things really work good when you're working together, and how disjointed it can be when you don't work together. You want to make sure that you're not biting. Like when you have a puppet on, one of the first things that I don't know why it is, even adults, when they get a puppet on, they want to bite something. They want to bite somebody, something. Like, puppet, look. Okay. But the problem with that is when you have a proper mouth in the puppet and you start doing that, you're putting this arch that's in the mouth that eventually won't go out. So you're coming up and they're like this, or like this, or like that. You know, the other characters right here. Hi, I like your hat. Or, nice shoes. Have them up. But if you want, sometimes it's better just to use even just one arm and then switch to the other arm. You know, so you can go. And the puppets that I have, they're more this style. Inside there would be like a harder style of plastic. Sometimes an elastic in there for a mouth. And usually once it's done, inside we cover it, spray it, and cover it with fabric. Then we'll ask the kids, what was the story about? See, I didn't say a word. But then I'll ask them, what was the story about? And then they'll have all kinds of ideas. But they usually get the general gist of it is that the one got down to help the other one up. And together they walk the same way. And so something as simple as a balloon can tell a story. See how much that changes? Something so simple. I'm simple! See, that's something that the kids could do themselves. See, I mean, it's so simple. Don't tell me, I can't do nothing, I don't know what to do. Yes, you do. Whether you do it or not, that's the question. What's that? These eyeballs are like 30 years old. But that's what I was doing, like teaching about mouth manipulation, the lip sync, dropping the jaw. And so just to give you a better visual on what it might look like instead of like this. Doesn't look very good. Like that's kids are extremely forgiving. They don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, right? And if you care, there's such forgiveness there. They don't really care. They just know that you love them, and that you care about them, and that you want to do your very best for them. And so that's the main thing. You want the puppet to be allowed to say, oh, look at that little dog. Look at that collar. I love that little blue collar on him. And start to point out little things maybe in the pictures that have nothing to do with the story. The way a kid's mind might work. And then flip it across. Just a couple little words. And he may even interrupt you. May talk about something else. Or say, yeah, my brother goes down the slide a lot. Sometimes he doesn't let me in. Then it gives the teacher or the assistant an opportunity to say, well, sharing's really nice, isn't it? We have to learn to share. And I'll pass some of these around too, just so you get an idea.
Holy cow!
So this is a...
Hey, that's my hair. Give it back.
Exactly. Stand up there and show everybody.
How do I look, ladies and gentlemen? Ooh, that feels good.
I got this the other day. I was there and I thought, hey, I'm going to teach a class. That's how simple. That's how simple it can be. So don't anybody say I can't do it because that's impossible. The only thing that's impossible is you not being able to do it because everybody can do it.
So, Reggie, can you repeat after me? Say, marhaba. Marhaba.
Merle Harbor.
It's okay.
No, it's not right.
It's okay, Reggie. Try again. You can do it.
I can do it. I can do it. Merle Harbor.
Yeah! Good job, Reggie. He did it. He's speaking Arabic just
I
like
am?
you do.
Yeah.
And this, let's say if I had something on her head right here, sometimes they put like a see-through cloth on her head, and then you can put eyes up here, or eyes here, above her eyes, so that you can't see. So you're looking at this, you're not seeing her, but she can see you. And then I would be all in black, and I'd have a black thing over my head. And I would be moving her arms, and I'd be moving her feet, and doing stuff, and making her into my puppet. I'm going, hey, how you doing? Glad you're all here. Take a bow. And then doing stuff like that. And then she would be my puppet. That's called, thank you, that's called bun raku. That's a big puppet, isn't it?
Dance like you've got to bear in your hair. Dance like you've got to bear in your hair. Dance like you've got to bear in your hair. Spray some bear spray.
Because this is a bunch of classes, who's kindergarten? Anybody? Whoa!
I'm gonna be in grade 1 next year.
How many are going to be in grade 1 next year? Same hands. Cool. Grade 1. Grade 2. Grade 3. University. Excuse me? I think you're fooling me. All right, I'm going to show you some puppets. How many have puppets at home? You have puppets at home? What kind of puppets do you have? Do you know what they're called? Like what kind? How many have seen the Muppets? Okay, I went down to California years ago and met with the Muppets and met with the Croft puppets and a whole bunch of puppeteers from all over the world. You know, there's people doing puppets from every place in the world. Africa, and Asia, and Japan, and China, and all over the world there's people. So if you want to do something and you have it in your mind that you can do it, don't let no one say you can't. I went down there and I got excited about it, came back and I talked to a TV station. We had a TV show for 5 years and then we were at West Edmonton Mall. How many have been there? We had, before you were born, we had a big castle set up there and it was called the Knuppets then. And we had a big castle set up there for 5 years and did 20 shows a week for 5 years. That's a lot of shows. And so you can do it. So everyone that says you can't do something, let's let a piece of paper like this. Every time someone says, oh, you can't do it because, you know, you don't have the abilities for it or no one wants to really see that or whatever. Let's just let this piece of paper, which is a special paper, you don't have this paper at home, this is not toilet paper, and it's not going in your typewriter, it's a special kind of paper, so you can never do this at home. But I wanted to show you, just as an illustration, that this kind of thing, we can have. It's nothing like you would ever have, but let's just say that this is all the people saying you can't do it, but
Again.
and just a couple balls like that, and I put some Velcro on the top like this, so when you do it like that, we'll turn like an oven mitt into something so simple like this. Say hi to the boys and girls with that puppet. One more time. A quick operation. He's a puppeteer, he's a doctor. What in the world is he? Yeah, oh yeah.
How you all doing? Yeah, want to see me dance?
You want to dance? Yeah.
Let me dance. Yeah, let me dance. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Do you know how valuable you are? Do you? If you hear nothing else today, hear this. You are extremely valuable to the kids that are looking up to you each and every day. And I believe that in 20 years, for some of you, the kids are going to be speaking like I am somewhere and say, I remember you. If you're happen to be sitting in the same session that they are, they might even point you right out and say, I remember you. I remember you. You're the one that put me where I am today because you believed in me. I believe in you. You're valuable. You're valuable.
I'm valuable.
Take care.